Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to F1 Manager 23. This is episode 19. We have signed up Flourish now for the long term. She was only on a 1 year deal initially, but now that she's been in the seat for a while, she was willing to sign on for longer for almost the same amount that she was making this year. She'll have a $40,000 salary increase, and that's it. Small increases on the bonuses, but a 3 year deal beginning next season. So now in for the long haul. We've got Flourish taken care of. Now it's just that matter of developing. I do have Logan Sargent also expiring at the end of the year. I'll need to get him signed on for at least one more year, and then it really doesn't matter who our reserve driver is, as we can't get a second female into the team anytime soon. For Sargent, I was looking for a 1 year deal, but it took a 2 year deal to get him over the line. I'm okay with that, as we're still looking at a long-term project before we can get Flourish turned into a champion at some stage. It would be nice if it was 2.5 years from now, if we had a car good enough to win a championship, and then we replace Logan Sargent after he wins a championship with a weaker driver. Hopefully a second female would be awesome if we could find one, but if Flourish becomes the lead driver by that point in the lead car, if the car is good enough to win, hopefully she is good enough to not sabotage that process. If we can get her up to, like, say, P3 the season before P4 in the driver standings, you could hope she can make that little bit more of a jump, plus the car, to just about compete for a driver's championship. That would be the ultimate goal. I'm not sure we're 2.5 years away from that yet. It might be more than that, but for now, Logan Sargent, 2 more years in the second seat. No cash to do anything right now. We only have $4 million, but our simulator upgrade is complete. Our next wave of upgrades will be aided by this, but the current projects are already underway. Started about a week ago, so they are not going to be aided by this just yet, but next time around. But in the meantime, the factory, the design center, the wind tunnel, suspension simulator, the car part test center are all down on condition. So when we have the funds, we absolutely want to do it the easy way, not the hard way. We want to upgrade the others.
Welcome, and come on in to the home of British motor racing. We're here in legendary Silverstone, where the very first Formula One World Championship Grand Prix was held back in 1950. It's a place where every tuft of grass breathes motorsport, and the crowd are already crackling with excitement. Silverstone is a power circuit. It demands downforce and total confidence in the car for a driver to keep their foot planted through Sector 2, through the high-speed corners at Woodcote and at Copse, and carrying on through Maggots and Beckett's.
Approaching places we haven't been since the very beginning of the first season, where we intentionally didn't put upgrades into the car, and it was Alex Albon, not Logan Sargent, who was getting P10s, P11s, P12s in qualifying. Here, Logan Sargent has picked up a P11 with almost identical lap times, with just about a good 1/10 of a second over chasing drivers. We got a couple guys with penalties that will see us start probably from P10. This is another good opportunity for us, for Logan Sargent, to start scoring some points. Likewise, we have made enough progress with the car that I think this is not a fluke. It's not track specific. I think we are going to start competing for points on a much more regular basis. But here's the thing. We need the consistency. I think he can beat the AlphaTauris. He can beat the Alfa Romeos now, but can he beat the McLarens track by track? Can he beat the Haas track by track? Can he beat the Alpines at all? We've yet to see either of those occasions. Last race for us was incredibly harsh. The outcome, whether you believed the penalty was our fault or the other team's fault, I have not seen any comments yet. I'm recording this back to back. Some of you may have thought that was our fault. Regardless, either way, it was incredibly harsh, because we were running in the top 5. We were going to be, by the end of the race, still running in the top 8 or better, the way things were going. The accident alone was already the defining moment. The 5-second penalty added insult to injury. I thought it wasn't our fault, but the game is horribly inconsistent on assigning blame.
The British Grand Prix is nearly upon us. The drivers composing themselves on the grid ahead of 52 laps around Silverstone. Logan Sargent, definitely one to keep an eye on today.
Starting P10 puts them in the right place to get some points, but there's still a lot to do.
But there's no more time left. We've got a race on our hands. Hold on tight. It's the British Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
All right, we are racing. Florsch starting from P19, not our concern today. We need to see if we can score some points. And Logan Sargent, of course, is the only way that we're going to do that anytime soon. Florsch currently P19 ahead of Gasly. Gasly starting from the back after picking up a penalty. I qualified right there around Sargent, just behind us, I believe. And we move up the one spot to P10. Sonoda, surprisingly close behind us. Bottas, surprisingly close. Haas, way down in 15th and 18th. Gives us a real opportunity. Right now, we are ahead of a whole lot of teams. We could be ahead of one more if we can get ahead of Ocon here at some stage. I would love to have a P9 and then have something happen to one or two of the front drivers to move us up even further. I have underfueled by 2 laps for Florsch, just 1 for Sargent to make him more racy. Makes him a little bit lighter. It helps conserve the engine a little bit. Gives him a little more natural pace, but it also will make it easy to recover that fuel without having to deal with lifting and coasting, and make us a little more racy when necessary to be able to push to try to go for an overtake. Right now, we're just trying to hold on to Ocon's wheel. We are nearly to the end of this second lap. Let's go ahead and shut down on the ERS deployment. Save that last little bit of battery. We are also already starting to overheat, so we're going to back off and back off. Okay. Florsch already down to P20, but right there, still in the mix. Definitely not having been dropped. But Sargent is the first one falling out of DRS range and overheating. Losing pace already. There goes Norris. I didn't back off until we were coming up on that start-finish line, and yet it did not matter. We could not keep up with the pace of Ocon. Let's hope we can keep up with the pace of Norris. But with both drivers overheating, can we hopefully see that the other cars are overheating as well? It was only just, but if they keep going and keep pushing, that could be problematic for a lot of cars, a lot of drivers, and see their tires wear a lot faster, and that could be an opportunity for us down the stretch. But Norris out of DRS range, just about ruining the chances of having a race with Ocon later on. But Russell losing contact. If Russell can drop back, that could drop him and Ocon back and give us what we need. There we go. Temperatures are almost right now. 120 is the happy zone, but it's also decimal wise still a little high. We are following closely behind Norris. That does increase your heat. We'll get it down to about a 119 this time. Standard. Getting back around. Okay. Back into P10. Sonoda out of range. Magnussen out of range. We need groups to split up. If we have a race just us and Norris going forward, that could be a great opportunity for us to gap 12th on down and then turn our race into one versus Norris, and maybe he can help keep us a little bit closer to Ocon, who at the moment is getting a lot of help staying up tight to the front 8 top 4 teams. Top 4 teams definitely looking stronger today than others, which means that race is for 9th, 10th, or 11th if we're lucky. Already 4 seconds behind. Yellow flag. Alonso dropping down the order. Alonso with the lockup, and we go on past. We go on past. He did not rejoin yet, so we are able to go past. He's going to drop right towards the back of the grid, and he does. He comes out last place early enough. I thought maybe he'd be able to squeeze into the gap between us and Ocon, but he does not, and we're up to P9. He has ruined his race. He might come back up the order at some stage, especially as he will not have any damage, but the lockup could have cost him some tire wear. Alonso has already overtaken Florsch back down to last place. Are the gaps starting to open? Showing signs of opening, but not quite getting the distance to get out of DRS range and pull away. Sonoda. The gap is showing. Hulkenberg, his gap is showing. So not just Bottas now, we're looking at more cars dropping back. Piastri dropping back. Here we go with lap 10. Norris sneaking on past. That's okay. DRS will seem... He's having a hard time overtaking us, and then when we drop behind, we seem to overtake him quite easily. Fuel is getting good. I don't think we're going to have to deal with lift and coast at all. Temperatures are good on the tires. We are trying to make a one-stopper work. You can see with that DRS how quickly we pulled right up on him. Right up on that gearbox. Tsunoda out of DRS range. Piastri getting well out of DRS range. So slowly but surely, field is starting to gap, and us with Norris can hopefully drive away a bit. I'd love to see Norris close back up on those front guys, because if we can get up towards Ocon and Russell and Sainz, then our race becomes with them, and Norris is helping us instead of hurting us. And we seem to be able to overtake him easily enough. Florish overtaking Albon into P19. Oh, love to see it. But Tsunoda has dropped to 1.6. Piastri has dropped to 3.5 back, so those guys are definitely off the pace. Florish, I would love to see her drive away from Albon, get around Bottas, drive away from both Alfa Romeos. What a sign that would be, that our car is not only getting competitive to maybe score some points, but getting competitive enough with a developing Florish who's getting fast enough, who still has not improved much on her pace, but just that little bit, along with some car pace, is starting to at least be able to race a couple of drivers. That will help her develop significantly faster if she can regularly race Albon and Bottas. Even if she doesn't always win, even if it's battling back and forth, that will help her earn more XP. As long as she can finish more races more often than not. But you can see the fuel already getting good. 0.3 recovered already. It's just lap 13. She's overtaken one Alfa Romeo. The second Alfa Romeo comes in, and there's a little collision between the two. It's minor though, so she'll be able to continue. Norris had already dove off into the pits here, and it's going to come back out in P19. Piastri P20 having already pit, so they are the first two to pit. They are on the softs, very much with an alternate strategy, multiple stop strategy that could be good for Sargent. Moments later, Hamilton is off in the pits as well. It's lap 17 here. We are 8 seconds behind the cars in front, but we are slowly pulling away from Tsunoda without battling Norris now. We have enough pace that we are a little bit faster than Tsunoda, now out to 2.5 seconds from about 1.8. Multiple cars into the pits now, so race situation changing live. Sargent currently P7, Virtual still P8 though. Got to watch out for where Norris is and what sort of time gains Norris is making. At this point, I would figure Norris will be ahead of Sargent when we pit, but on a sure two-stopper where we are on a one-stopper, hanging on the mediums, and on the mediums, a lot of cars are already starting to pit on the mediums. A 132.8, while Norris is doing a 131.5, 131.3. He's gaining a second and a half per lap, 1.5 seconds per lap. That obviously will add up, but he needs to gain 30 seconds overall over the whole race. He's got 30-something laps to do it. Second a lap would do it. So a second and a half a lap is not looking great for us. Getting caught in traffic, though, is a thing, and track positionally, we're going to be right near the front. Let's hope. Florish P18 as things stand.
The window is open.
And we're entering that pit window. Okay. Florish comes down pit lane. Going first because of the tire wear. Sargent might be pitting later this lap, which is one lap after, but also still one lap early. Penalty for Florish. We are down to P8 and tire wear warning hitting one last lap around. Yeah, we're losing a lot of time here on these last few laps. The hard compound, just how slow will it be? Everybody else is going to be on the softs. We're going to be fairly slow. We're going to lose some ground. We're already back down to P8. I'm not sure we've gained enough out of trying to make a one-stopper work as opposed to just going for the two-stopper like everybody else. But we didn't have the right compounds. It wasn't even a real viable option as we only had one set of softs left. 6.3 for the stop. Because of the... So I've discovered something here in the game recently. And it's affected us here just now. The fatigue part. The fatigue is the real manager of mistakes. Whether chances of mistakes are really high or not so high. Fatigue is the biggest factor. A mistake makes fatigue. So when they do commit a mistake, it piles on fatigue. The fatigue then increases the chance of mistake. So one mistake leads to another mistake, leads to another mistake, leads to, you get the point. Now we need to make sure we stay within the DRS range here of show. We're on fresh, hard compound tires, but right now we're only ahead of the Alfa Romeos. The poor pit stop has knocked us down. We would have been P16 if not for this, but we need to see some natural pace here. I mean, I'm already pushing a lot of these guys quite worn. Tsunoda, Gasly, two of the only ones that are not. And they're on the hards, like us, trying to go the distance. Are they trying to go the distance, though, or are they going to go for a late stop? I don't know. For us, we should just about make it to the end of the race without needing another stop. Pace doesn't seem to be terrible for these guys, but we do find ourselves behind Tsunoda, behind Gasly, where we had been ahead. Piastri into the pits. I was counting on getting into DRS range of him, but let's see if we can get away from show a little bit. Just about a second behind, and now is a second behind. Let's go standard so we don't overheat. We are not in the position we want to be in. What about Norris, though? Norris is somebody we were racing with. After his second pit stop, he is well behind us. But what's well behind? Just 8 seconds back. Not that far down. The two Haas cars will pit fairly soon. What's our gap to them? 15 seconds to Magnussen. So we'll definitely be ahead of the two Haas cars when they pit. Alonso as well. Alonso should be behind us. 20-second difference. Sainz and Stroll will not. They'll be ahead. We could still be competing for P9 today. We could still be competing for points. Okay, new race situation. Alonso pits and comes out ahead. So he made up enough ground or only lost so much that we will not race with Alonso. He's on fresh whatever, mediums probably. Could be softs. It is softs, actually. Magnussen's the one that we're going to gain on, and that's going to be it. Most of these guys have made their final stops now. 3.5 seconds back of Alonso. Tsunoda and Gasly, not sure we're going to catch them, but in the final laps, they are going to have far more worn tires and be a bit more off pace than we will be. Behind Bottas now. Will Florsch get in range? I think she will. Yes, Florsch has gotten ahead of Albon. She's not last. 40 laps into a race. With her carrying some damage. Oh, who was it she hit? It was Bottas, right? That she hit. Or was it Albon? I think it was Bottas. It wasn't Albon, so she's actually beating Albon right now on merit. Magnussen finally pits. He's going to be well behind. Hulkenberg has made it around Norris and is suddenly just 3.5 seconds down on me. Yikes on that part. He's coming on hard and fast. We're up to P12, but we still have Tsunoda and Gasly ahead and not making up the ground on them. So they just have better pace than we do. Oh, Gasly and Tsunoda, it seems to be working out for them. Show with a mistake. Now, in terms of the competition, 2 Alfa Romeos behind us, 2 Haas cars, 2 McLarens behind us. If we can hold them off, at least it's going to be a successful day on that part. We've only had 1 successful race in the last 6 attempts. This would be a very good day. It would really help with the board. Yeah, Florsch is 1 lap down. And we're looking at, what, 1 point something for a lap?
Keep pushing.
Sargent. Albon overtakes Florsch. Drops to last. Here we go. Starting a lap at 20.3. And we have to... I don't think there's any use defending. I think Hulkenberg's going to go by, and then we just have to hope to be able to stay on their wheel. And then when their tires fall off at the end, be able to come back at them as the hards will degrade less fast. No, not Magnussen. Not both of the Haas's drive it away from us. Oh, man. Norris did not hold up well against those two, though. Norris might have outqualified them and started the race better than them, but the Haas is clearly the quicker car on race pace. They have caught Tsunoda and are going around, so that's good. That is good, which means we could maybe catch Tsunoda and go around, and that would get us back ahead of another team, because Zhou is well back there. That would put us back ahead of 3 teams. Okay, Magnussen has gotten around Tsunoda. He'll be a sit and duck if he loses DRS. He's already at 0.8. Now 1 second down. He gets DRS, though, as the detection zone had him just inside a second. But he's still over a second down, so the next zone will see him be an easy overtake for us. Don't think we are in any danger of getting lapped. No, we are not. We are not in any danger of getting lapped. So we are going to have to get the overtake done and then somehow manage our fuel. 50%. What's Tsunoda at? He pit well before us. Remember, he undercut us, but it's putting him in a weaker state. Our hards are better than his, and apparently our pace is better than his. It was just that pit stop that set him up. Minute down, but not facing any risk of getting lapped. 0.2 now. Almost there. We are presently on lap 48. Field is on 49. Look at us close up on him and having a look anyway. Having another look. Heading into the chicane. We might get it done. We might not. No, not yet. Hate how we back out of that, though, even though he runs himself off the road. Just stay in that battle instead of himself backing out. And then we just get off the gas. But positive delta. Let's get it to a 0.1, though. Stop conserving, and we suddenly can't keep up. Oh, he's getting DRS? No, he's closed back up on Hulkenberg. Magnussen's up to P10 around Gasly. Haas is set to get a point again. What the heck is going on with us, though? Why did we suddenly lose a budge of pace? We suddenly just really fell off the pace. Tsunoda got DRS, but like, how the heck did that just happen? We are within 1 second now, though. We are within a second. Feels good. Can't push, though. Save it for coming out of Maggots at Beckett's. Full deploy at that point. Right, you want to try to get up the inside here?
Yep, copy that. I can't do anything.
Keep pushing.
There you go. Here's your time.
Reduce flight cover.
Copy.
There we go. Up beside him.
We want to leave
Side by side.
Copy.
On deploy. And we're going to get Tsunoda 7th as a team. Still only P13, though. Another mistake. My mistake on the strategy. Call to go for the one stopper. But we make it work out a bit anyway in the end. Haas looked pretty quick. They were going to be tough to beat, but it was on for 10th today. 10th place was absolutely a possibility. Ocon, fantastic race to get all the way up to P4. He was the one we were behind that we were thinking of maybe a P9 on, but no mistakes at the front of the grid, and so no favors. Nobody did us any favors. We do get P13 on merit. Flourish is last. Loses extra time right there at the end, but did have herself a little bit of a battle. But took damage again. Another mistake. The battles are now leading to mistakes, and that's a bit of a problem. But let's hope she can get some experience. Driver development updates, and Sargent has had a wonderful boost. +1 to cornering, +1 to braking, and +1 to accuracy. All things that will help lap time. Flourish gets an update, and it's not a particularly useful one to an extent. I mean, every point counts wherever you can get it, but +2 to smoothness, +2 to adaptability. Makes her better on tires. Makes her better in the rain. does not make her faster overall, which is what we need most of all. She's not getting the points where it counts right now, and that absolutely is hurting. It's hurting big time. Despite my disappointment in that latest result, the board was happy. That was the first time this entire season that we finished 7th as a team. And after, 5 of the 6 previous races, 9th or 10th, just once getting 8th. That first 7th is good. It's a big boost to, well, not a big boost, it's a boost to the board confidence. It's helping. It is helping. So I'll have to accept it for what it is, but we are in a better state. And hopefully more consistently can get a satisfied or a happy kind of result out of the board, even if we're not scoring a lot of points, to at the very least keep us in the position. I don't mind if we ultimately finish 9th this season. It's below target, but it's not devastating. It's not end of your job. The objectives are going to be failed, and they're going to continue to be disappointed in the coming year if we fail again. But as long as we keep the finances at no debt, and as long as we get the occasional result to keep them satisfied in the race performance, we'll keep our job, and eventually we'll get better. And the car is getting better. But with the absurd amount of mistakes that our pit crew has made, we are now at a 57% chance of a mistake. We have to cut out training almost entirely this month to bring the fatigue back down, to cut back on the chances of mistake here. And with a few tweaks, as in applying more rest to the team, we're able to get us down from exhausted to just tired, and that's going to see our chance of mistake fall all the way to 13% now, meaning mostly unlikely. A lot of the risk is gone. Big improvement on that chance of mistake across the board. And in the meantime, we can also cut down 2/100ths of a second on our estimated pit stop time. Already we are consistently 9th or 10th on a race by race basis on fastest pit stop, and picking up that 1 or 2 points. We're only 6th, I think, in the DHL fastest pit stop competition, but we are hanging in there. We're doing all right. We scored points twice all last season. One of those was a fluke. We've outscored it this season without the fluke. The last upgrade to the race simulator is done, so we are now getting a maximum boost for Flourish, who is already only listed as average for development, despite not even yet being a 60 overall. We're not going to get her up to the level of other drivers. It's going to take a really, really good car. Obviously, to compete, though, she's going to have to be at a higher level than she is, but she still has plenty of development to come. It's not going to be she's not going to be a 90 overall. She might not even be an 80 overall. But if we can get her to a 77 overall and have an amazing car, she might be able to win. Big ask coming up, because this is something that short term could have a tremendous benefit. Long term can have a tremendous handicap placed upon the team. Here's what we are talking about. Regulation change. It's a sporting reg about changing the wind tunnel and CFD testing times to favor the bottom end of the grid, more so than the top end of the grid, which would see a more often recycling of teams at the top. Harder to stay at the top once you get there. Cutting your wind tunnel time from 56 down to 40 for being first in the constructors. Increasing it from 88 to 104. I'm going to vote for this. I'm all for parity. I'm all for a changing field. I would love to see it more regularly change hands, even if that means at some stage, as we move up, it gets harder to stay up. Following real life, we are going to get the alternate tire allocation weekend here at Hungary. We're going to only have 11 dry weather tires instead of the normal 13, which is something they've been testing in real life here. Long story short is, for 2 sets of tires, that's 4 tires, that's 8 tires, that's 20 cars, that's 160 tires saved over a single race weekend. 160. Multiply that over the course of a season, we're talking about what, 2,000? That's a lot. That is an absolute ton of ability to be a little closer to carbon neutral.
Welcome to the beautiful Three Springs Valley, here in Hungary. You're joining us in Budapest for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Budapest was formerly 3 cities, and today they're all coming together to kick off what we hope will be a thrilling weekend of racing. What on paper could be a low-speed circuit is turned flat out by modern Formula One cars. The Hungaroring's short lap means track position is essential in qualifying, and drivers will need to be careful of track limits throughout the race. There's a fantastic atmosphere at the Hungaroring as we prepare for 70 laps of the Hungarian Grand Prix. And here's George Russell, focusing on the race ahead of him.
They've done so well to secure a P3 grid position. Can they turn this into a podium finish though?
Here we go. It's time to go racing. And here we go with the Hungarian Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go.
Okay, we are racing in Hungary, and this just does not feel like the track. It's not the track that we are going to be successful at. A lot of medium speed stuff, and other cars have brought upgrades that we are not quite matching up with. So, Sargent already in a crash, so there you go. No surprises.
Okay?
I'm glad that I did not
Here's the
bring
replay. Now this
our
is
most
Sergio
important
Perez.
components. It's Perez!
You can see
He's got to
how
be
tight
carrying
it is,
penalties. He's
and
on
there
softs trying
the
to
cars
overtake
make
us.
contact.
He squeezes us off.
Confidence
We're
will
all the
take
way
it
up
into
on the
that.
inside of the curb, and he hits us. That has to be his penalty. We are literally
can
as
just
close.
feel the
He
frustration
squeezes
from the
us
team
off the track.
watching on the
That
monitors.
concrete curb right there is not the kind you can be driving on. Ignore. No penalty for Sargent. Perez should have one. That's already causing us to overheat.
So what DRS?
Check the DRS.
Yeah, copy.
And Perez is carrying a
Three
penalty.
tires.
Perez is carrying a penalty. It's hot today.
Lift and coast.
It's hot. 32.2 Celsius. And leading to the overheating happening much faster. So we're going to have to manage the tires now. Others are still pushing till the end of this lap, but now that... Oh, it's lap 4. I thought... See, I misread which lap we're on. That is Florish getting passed by Zhou, but meanwhile it's Sargent we are paying attention to right now, who is behind Albon. Low expectations for today. If we can beat a team, if we can beat the Alfa Romeos, great. If we can beat Sonoda and the Alpha Tauris, fantastic. I think that's it, other than if anybody DNFs. Perez has very much messed up his race, but we can't count on Verstappen doing the same.
And oh,
Same corner.
that's obviously far
Are
from
we to blame
intentional,
that one?
but there
Kind of
was
looks like it might be.
contact, and that won't
Looks
do
like
their
that might have been on
confidence
us. He
any
was trying to
good.
make the overtake there. Feels like that one might have been our
Not
fault.
much that the team can...
Yep,
Are you okay? Are you okay?
that one was our fault. Sargent with the penalty. It wasn't a spin. He was able to carry on, but yes, caused now it's major front wing damage.
Am I boxing?
Okay, stand by.
Can we ignore? 5-second time penalty. Oh, and major suspension. Maybe we should just retire. I don't know how he's going to overcome this.
There's probably a lot of debris on the start finish.
Another crash. Could it be this kind of race? We've already had 2 incidents. AlphaTauri coming across. Hamilton there.
The team glued to the monitors.
Right now, this is our best hope. Is a wide number of DNFs or heavily damaged cars. Florish has gone around Sargent in the meantime. The damage is severe, and it's definitely costing him lap time, but we have got to wait till lap 16. Oh, and Sargent. Sargent, third mistake of the day.
So we're heading now into turn 5. Oh!
I don't think he
that's
lost
where
it
they
on
hit
his
the
own
wall.
here. I
And they'll
do
definitely
think
be
this
facing a
was
few questions from the
the
team after
damage
that.
of the suspension and or the front wing. I should have retired the car. Now we're going to carry extra damage. That's it for his day. Florsch is not going to be putting up much of a fight either, so this will be a quick one. Florsch currently running in, well, was P16 there for a moment, but Magnussen squeezing on through, going on by. It's Perez, it's Albon behind us, now Piastri behind us, but our first pit stop will be coming up here relatively soon in about 5 laps time. Florsch already struggling going backwards before pitting, but part of that was pace, being on those mediums. We're going to go to the hards, even slower, but we'll be down to 1 stop. We pit a bit later than others, and that could give us a little bit of a helping hand in this race. I would think some cars could be looking at a 3-stopper at the rate that they are going, or certainly not getting to see the soft compound at any point during the race. Come back out in P18, at least ahead of Albon. Let's go ahead and check in. Albon's going to pit again, actually, fairly soon. Or has Albon already? Well, they're all a lap down. Perez goes by Florsch. 30 seconds ahead of Albon. So we've got that. We are going to beat Albon, it looks like, today. Piastri, show, I don't know, 30 seconds? That seems a lot. I'm not sure we're going to be able to cover that off. We also have minor ERS damage. The engine is a new one. Gearbox at 92% for Florsch. So that new engine giving her a little bit better pace. Albon pits. Sonoda pits. 52 seconds ahead of Albon. But already 24 behind Perez. But, I mean, come on, it's a Red Bull. Piastri pits, but comes out half a minute ahead just behind Perez. It's lap 41. We've got 1 stop left. We'll be faster on that last one as we'll be on the softs for it. But we're not in contention to really race with anyone. Looking like a P18 as long as no one else ends up DNFing the rest of the way. And that, of course, is a really bad day for us. Total failure on the day. We don't beat any teams as Sargent is in last and Florsch is only beating 1 car. Her beating 1 car is a good day, but it's Sargent that we rely on to get those results, and we're definitely not getting it today. And as much as we're losing ground on the cars ahead of us, Bottas now behind after he pits. Piastri competing with Perez somehow, but there goes Perez into the pits again. Still comes out 38 seconds ahead of us from 2 seconds. So we lost 36 seconds over the last 20-something laps. Almost 2 seconds a lap here as we enter the pit window. Albon, we've managed to pull away from, though. Albon was involved in one of Sargent's 3 incidents on the day, though, so is carrying damage. And Florsch is easily ahead of him. Florsch had nearly lapped Albon, who had just pit, by the way, and now we head off into the pits. Good pit stop, 2.343. That's the only win we can really get right now, as we are a lap down, we are struggling, and we are now 53 seconds ahead of Albon and a minute 18 behind Perez. But we will be much faster for our final stint. And we now have a lot of clean air until the Mercedes of Russell, who is over 10 seconds back. And on the softs, we should have enough pace that hopefully Russell is not catching us too quickly. The best way to know that, of course, is keep an eye on Alonso ahead and see how close we can keep it to him. Ultimately, he should pull away from us, but if we can keep up more or less, it'll be a while before Hamilton catches us, and then the next car behind Hamilton is a bit further back with the Alpines, another almost 10 seconds down. So 20-second window with just 1 car within it. Nice clean air to run in for the next 12 laps, and our fastest compound of the day, and nearly right on fuel. In fact, we're a lap down, so we are already right on fuel. Therefore, Florsch can run comfortably the rest of the way here to the end. It's the Haas's in 10th and 11th, though, looking like they're going to pick up another point. McLaren struggling these days. Haas has been better than them of late. We have a car that's almost as good as the McLaren, but this is just not a track that suits us well. It didn't matter that Sargent had a really bad day. We were not going to have a very good day anyway. So I get it. It's okay. I'd rather see Sargent right now running around P13, 14, or 15 and at least have a chance, because he'd be on the same strategy. He'd be on the softs right now and faster than these guys and a chance to do something. Joe's 20 seconds back, so I don't think we'd be competing with the Haas's. I don't think we'd be competing with Norris in the McLaren, but you would think the AlphaTauris, the Alfa Romeos, Piastri, Perez on his bad day could be beaten. But Perez is, of course, has something to do with hitting Sargent, but he's the one who hit Sargent. But our bad day started from there. Trying to carry on with that damage led to the second and third incidents, I believe. I don't think it necessarily had something to do with his quality, but he was driving a boat at that point, hard to control. Led to increased pressure that when somebody did come around him, it led to an incident, not once but twice. And he's going to be carrying a penalty into the next race, so great. Should have retired him when I had the chance. Really should have. That is definitely my bad. 10 laps to go. Sainz leading from Verstappen, but just. And then Leclerc ways back. Alonso, Russell, all in some clean air. Ocon pulling away from Gasly a little bit at this point. Stroll in 8th. Hamilton 9th. And then it's that battle for 10th that Norris is now getting in the middle of. Multiple cars have crashed, and Tsunoda has a penalty. The two AlphaTauris are going to come together on this one. And Tsunoda picks up the penalty. Plenty of incidents on the day, but none of them doing enough to do us the favor we need to finish ahead of literally anyone, let alone two teams. And we ride on board with Sainz. Verstappen about a second and a half back as he comes around the final corner to take the checkered flag. Verstappen's going to take P2. Got Leclerc in P3.
And Sainz crosses the line first. He's taken the win.
Alonso P4, Russell P5, Flores will finish P18. No change in the order. Tsunoda will have a penalty to drop down the order a little bit, but it looks like just one position, just behind their teammate. No change in that order. Norris did get the better of the two Haas cars today, though, to score one more point for McLaren. Bottas was the next car, and we did beat Albon, but we don't beat any teams today. It's a last place finish overall as a constructor. That one hurts, and that all came down to Perez hitting Sargent and that damage. But 3 incidents back to back to back. Boy, that was a rough day for us. And that's going to do it for this episode. I'm a Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.